Right now, we do have the head of PR and events at Comex Homes. We want to assess affordable housing and potential investments in Kenya. Joy Irungu, karibu tena sana from Comex Homes.
Thank you. Thank you, Mbuvi.
Karibu tena sana. Pleasure to have you here with us.
Santi.
Let's talk about Comex Homes first of all, what you're all about, so that we can understand the perspective from which you're going to be talking about affordable housing.
Yeah. So Comex Homes, we're property developers. What we do, we build, we sell, and we manage property. We call it, we build affordable, luxurious homes in the sense that we also include amenities like swimming pool, gyms, and all that, as well as making the units very affordable and in prime locations within the CBD. Yeah.
Within the CBD?
Yeah, very close proximity to the CBD.
So give us a property or two that you've actually developed so we can visualize some of your good works.
Okay. Yeah. We have the Nyayo View Suites, phase 1. We actually handed it over last year. It's actually facing Nyayo Stadium. So for the tenants there, wakitaka kuona ball, very quick access.
Also from my balcony, I can just be watching.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So we have that. We have Balozi Suites in South B, which we'll be handing over this year, late November. And we have the Reveal in Gong Road and our recent baby, Astana residence in Ngara. So yeah, so as you can like see the locations, we are really, really close to CBD, making it quick access for people, young professionals who work within, the city center. Yeah.
Right. And you said you have amenities such as gyms, swimming pools. What else are we looking at from a Comex home?
Besides those, we have rooftop restaurants. We have lounge areas, co-working space areas. So what we realized is a lot of young people right now are doing remote jobs and they're really confined in their homes. This is creating a lot of depression and everything, lack of kujuana na watu, interact with a lot of people. So we created co-working space areas for them to interact with the other tenants and also work in those areas. Yeah.
So I don't have to work in my bedroom. I can go to a co-working space.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Good stuff.
Rooftop restaurant.
Yeah. and
a lounge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually
residence lounge.
I saw something similar in Ghana. I honestly didn't think it's happening here in Kenya.
It is.
I saw this residential complex, and then they have those amenities you were talking about. I was like, okay, yote kwa set yetu. Ni kazi mingi sana. Yeah, but I mean, hearing how you've described them and the purpose for which they're built, it actually does make sense.
Yeah. So it's all about, most of the developers, when they just build, it's all about now bringing profits and everything. You don't consider the people who are going to stay there. You just think about the investors who are buying it. So it's all round for us. We think about the investors, how they're going to get their returns and profits. And also we think about the tenants who are in there. Okay, also not forgetting, with the tenants, we also have some community activities that they normally do.
Such as?
It depends. So they can have a painting session in the rooftop, or they have a specifically management company for that called Comex Living. They handle everything. Yeah.
Wow. So you're all round, basically, you guys.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. Now, are you also developing other areas outside Nairobi, or is it just Tao?
Yeah. Currently, it's just within Nairobi. We're just akikishaing the profit that investors are getting is high, and also for the tenants, they're within quick access to their workplaces or schools.
Can I buy a property, an apartment, for example, in any of your establishments? Because you've been mentioning people who are renting and investors, but can I come and buy? Now that I've known about you, can I walk into Comex Home and say, kuna nyumba nimesikia mmesema iko Ngara? Can I purchase that?
Yes, you can actually come in. So our offices are at Telcom Plaza. You can walk into our offices, Telcom Plaza, first floor, Comex Homes, or you can just go to the site of the project that you really want. There are people who will definitely assist you. It's a kidogo process. Just documentation, like your ID, your carry pin. Then there's a person who will walk you through, who will show you the floor plan. Then choose a unit that you want, the floor that you want, alafu tuendelee sasa na process.
I guess the next question is, how much do they cost? Give us a range.
So our projects cost from 2.2 to 5.5.
No way.
True. That's
You know, I was
that's
actually
a
waiting
real definition of affordable housing. How affordable housings range from 1 million to 5 million.
Yeah. Do you know, actually, I was expecting you to be like, so a basic unit will cost you like 8 million. Then, like, the really premium one is like 17, 20 million. But you're
No.
saying 2 point what?
2.2 to 5.5.
How do you manage to get your costs to that level?
Of
Is it a
selling.
state secret? Yes, because when someone hears of a unit costing 2.5 million, you ask, are you sure it is 2.5 million?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had a lot of questions like that. Some people even think we are crooks because of selling kidogo units with kidogo prices.
Yeah.
But then again, it's just looking at one. A lot of developing, the prices hike because of where you get your materials and all that. As you just learn how to subsidize, get the right people to give you these supplies, workmanship and all that, unajipata you get that you're building houses that are equivalently affordable for the wananchi. And to note, we actually don't hike the prices as the units go higher. So that's another thing a lot of people get.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Most developers, as the unit goes high, the price the floors.
Oh, you mean like from first floor is not the same as third floor?
As fifth floor and above.
Okay.
For us, it's all constant, no interest when it comes to some specific things. So yeah.
So essentially, whatever you say the price of the unit is, it remains constant
Along the floors. If it's higher or lower.
So I can get a penthouse for the same amount.
Exactly.
Okay, good stuff.
Yeah.
But there's something I want to understand. I want to tell us a little bit about Comex and how you started, what got you into development. I'm interested. I'd like to know. And what got you into thinking about reasonably priced units that people within a large range can actually afford to buy, when there are options that you would have done something different. Why? That's what I'd like you to tell us.
So
And take your time.
Sawa. So Comex Homes started with Comex Ceramics and also doing constructions for other people. So in the process of constructing apartments for other developers, as when you realize, okay, Sawa, we've been doing this and I think we can get them into the market and do affordable housing. When it comes to the structure and also the amenities, this is an idea our CEO got from the apartments in Dubai. When you look at the Dubai apartments and what we're doing, it's quite very similar. So as we continued...
What is it about the Dubai apartments that made them unique?
When you come into our studios, it's more like when you enter, you'll be like, is it a hotel suite or is it a home? So those are some of the structures making it very, very unique for people, and with the amenities that we're bringing in. So yeah, these are some of the things that we're doing. So after that, what else? Yeah, so we decided, okay, why not? Let's get into this affordable housing and make it. What we're also trying to do is to make it very easy for other people who are in low class and middle class to afford units. As you look at what is happening right now in Kenya, the numbers of people are really, really growing in the place where accommodation for a lot of people is not, people are not getting enough accommodation. That is why the affordable housing. So we figured, okay, why don't we do this? And to talk kwa ile narrative of the elderly are the people who can own or buy real estate, and also reach out to the young people and tell them, you know what, hata nyinyi, you can, regardless of where you are, you can get a unit. And yeah, Comex Home started with Nyayo V Suites 1, phase 1. And within 1 year, we were totally sold out. So from there, we started growing slowly by slowly.
So, word of mouth. You have a product that is exactly what you said it was. People buy it, others see it, and they realize, this is real. Let me explain why I'm asking. The line of business that you are in, unfortunately in this country, is not always trusted.
Yeah, true.
There are very many people who claim and say the same things you're saying, but there are very many people who've been burnt as a result of it. The worst culprits are those who sell land. Okay? The vast majority of people who sell land are honest and people get what they want. But you don't need many. You just need 1 or 2 people, or just not more than 2. And suddenly that entire industry has a bad reputation. And nobody even bothers to consider the others who are in that industry who actually do exactly what they promise and fulfill the promises that they made. Now, let me ask the other question. When you look at the units that you build, which is the tallest unit that you've actually ever built?
The tallest will probably be the one that we're starting right now, standard residence, which will be 28 floors. 28 floors, 3 floors being parking, then 23 floors being apartments. So that's basically our highest that we're doing right now. Others are 15 floors, 16 floors. Yeah.
You know why I'm nodding? Is because when I first experienced what you call high-rise buildings, it was not in this country. It was actually in Malaysia. And it was, yes, that was their response to low-cost housing. You find a 30-story building, you just look at it, you feel dizzy. Okay? But when you look at what we call the economies of scale, it makes a lot of sense. And if the building is actually good, you see, the area it occupies and what the building then becomes, there's a lot of room that is left for other amenities if you so wish to have them within that same vicinity. So it made a lot of sense, because for the longest time when we didn't have a big population, we built horizontally. See, now we're building vertically. Yes, and it makes perfect sense. What prevents you from moving to other parts of the country? Say some of the bigger towns.
Okay. There's nothing per se that is holding us, but I guess it's all about what Comex Homes has been selling when it comes to prime locations. We've been focusing a lot to proximities within CBD. Well, maybe in the near future we can look towards other places, because it's true there's some other places, Kitengela and all those, which are really, really growing, and availability of land. So maybe in the near future.
We were having a conversation here last week, I think it was on Friday. We were talking about this whole issue of affordable housing and more or less development around Nairobi. And one thing that came out was the fact that right now Nairobi is a bit squeezed. If you look at even the environs now, kuna places it's not becoming worse, it's becoming overcrowded. I actually had a conversation with someone last week who was saying that perhaps Kilimani is going to become the new slum area. Itakuwa pipeline imeomoka. That is the word they used. Do you think that is so? And perhaps I will tie it to the question that CT has asked. Why not figure out other places that we can actually go and develop so that can become more attractive? We're talking about areas along Kangundu Road. They're talking about Kitengela, like you've rightly mentioned, and even Machakos County, the CBD of Machakos. Wachana na hii mlolongo kwenda hivyo. But you get what I mean. Sabaki area, which is next to Syokimau, develop those particular areas so that we can try and decongest the city. Because we have very good amenities in these particular areas, and the infrastructure has grown over the years. We have an expressway now. You can get to town in X amount of time. Is it something that we can consider, and actually even your industry as property developers, to come and say, guys, can we start moving outside Nairobi?
Yeah, it's something we are actually thinking about and considering it. So Mbuvi, let me just say this. With the units that we build, we do studios and 1 bedroom. Remember, the people who are renting out these spaces we're looking at young professionals and students to rent out these places. When we think about moving to Syokimau, Kangundu Road, these are places, when you look at the houses that are within those areas, these are family houses, some big mansionettes or 3-bedroom units and all that. That is not where we really, maybe in the near future we'll want to go there, but as per now, these are not places we want to move quickly towards.
Those mansionettes you've mentioned, see, they have kids. Those kids will eventually grow. See, they will need houses to get away from, the crib.
Okay, true, I understand. But when you look at the areas we've set up our projects, there's so many schools around. There's Strathmore, there's Dexter, there's all these schools around. When you go to Syokimau, think about the student who's coming from Kanyamas, KCA to come to Syokimau. That's a whole lot long distance. Or somebody who's a young professional who's just gotten a job in CBD. that person hana hiyo pesa mingi ya kushindanga ati logistics moving around and
Matatu
doing
nini.
and you know and all that. So these are some of the things that we're considering. As I said earlier, we're not only considering the investors. Yes, we want them to get profit, and we actually give them good profit, but we're also considering the tenants who want to stay there, because these are the same tenants who are giving returns on investments to our investors. So
You see, the question that I had asked earlier on, you've actually made it more relevant now. When previously there was only just one university in the entire country, your argument could not have been opposed in any way. However, because we have universities all over the country, literally, part of the problem that many of these universities have are housing issues. Once upon a time, universities provided accommodation for the students. There are more students coming into the university than the units that are required. So indeed there is a market, in my opinion, just from the student perspective. And there are people who have gone into that market of creating dwelling places for students. I see those buildings across this particular town. Why do I ask this question? When somebody wants to expand, do you focus on a place that is already well served, or do you move to a place that needs that service but hasn't quite got enough of it?
you move to a place where they need the service. Very true. And that's why I said we are looking into in the near future, moving into that. And yes, true, there are some people who've gone ahead and they've gone to build up structures in these areas. As per now, what Comex Homes is looking at is a specific promise that we've made to investors, particularly at this moment. In the near future, maybe 2-3 years to come, we'll move towards that. So,
right now, the biggest competition to affordable housing is the government. Your affordable housing is the GAVA. How would you say that your units compare to those sons of GAVA? Because government is really trying, and them they're trying to provide it to everyone. You're going for, the guys who are trying to work from home.
Have you seen the smile?
Yeah.
I cannot wait for the response.
You're waiting for this answer.
I'm waiting for the response.
I mean, when we talk about affordable housing, basically, the benchmark can be anybody at this particular point in time, because the government has been doing affordable housing for decades now. But now we're having private sector also getting into that particular business. So when you talk about affordable housing, do you compare to what the government, do you match to what the government is doing?
in terms of costs, what affordable, as I said earlier, affordable housing costs is a range between 1 million to 5 million. So within the budget of costs, yes, probably we lie towards the same thing as the government. But when it comes to the interiors of the units and the amenities, so we're differing there, because I don't want to say negative stuff about that, but
I think what you're probably trying to say is the needs of your clients. They are specific, right? And that is why you'd say that your designs perhaps are different from this.
Are very different, are very different, and the amenities that we put inside. So when you look at the government affordable housing, there's some amenities that they don't have. That's why we refer ourselves as affordable, but also luxurious. Housing for Comex Homes, because we combine a bit of affordable when it comes to cost and everything, but also we bring in this structure of luxury living.
All right. Fair enough. So basically you're saying that your clientele is different.
Actually, from what I hear, what we're actually being told is that the market for affordable housing exists. And there is a diversity. So there may actually be no real competition so to speak. Because if you look at what the government is offering and what they are offering, it's affordable housing, yes, but with a twist to it. Now, when you look at the ecosystem of what we call, this is an academic question I'm asking, so it doesn't necessarily point to Comex. There is a housing problem, and it requires a solution. The government approach was to try and be part of the solution to that particular problem. Private investors such as yourself, who get into this particular line of work, In your opinion, do you really think that they can be considered to be major players in trying to solve this housing problem? Because we do have a housing problem.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I think we can be, as private developers, be part of this, because the sum of the people, exactly what they're doing, the government is doing, bringing affordable units, affordable housing for specific people to own, and it's the same thing as some of the private developers are doing. So yeah, we can partner in this. We can actually be part of the team players who are trying to reduce the, what's it called, increase the housing capacity of people. So
this line of work that you do you people have an organization that you belong to?
Organization in terms
like
of
the
CSR?
Kenyan Association of Private Developers, something of that sort?
Definitely.
Good. The reason why I ask is this: when you have a group and you provide a much needed service, then you have clout. It means you can effect policy. Now I'm going to ask you a more specific question. The bottlenecks that we've heard people talking about with regards to building in the city, primarily from the city government, primarily from those charged with ensuring that people build according to, one, the zoning laws that are there, the basic requirements of the building, and so forth. The stories that we hear are heart-wrenching, and some of them are like horror stories of the difficulties people go through just to put up a structure. Have you people experienced this difficulty that we hear, or these people telling us stories of another country and superimposing them into Kenya?
In terms of building
the difficulties of actually getting to put up a building.
Yeah, these are some of the disadvantages we have as property developers. It becomes, it is. We get challenges like this, delays on approvals. This happen, but tunapambana tu.
But does it interfere with the costs of actually putting up these structures?
Yeah, it does. It does, and delays. Actually, delays, because you'll find that we've probably told people we're going to complete a project within 2 years. Approvals take 3-4 months. That's a delay to your investors. So there's something like that. There's, people you call constructors to come help in, if as long as you're waiting for approvals and they're there, you've called them from work, you'll still have to pay them because they're there. So these are some of the things and challenges that we get. And yes, they literally cost us when it comes to developing. So
This the aspect of investment. We're looking at some of the practices that young people have is putting up Airbnbs, for example. Is it something that you guys are okay with? If I get a unit there, can I set up an Airbnb so that if I do get a client, I can actually make money from that particular unit?
Yes, we definitely allow Airbnbs. So once you get that unit, it's yours. That's your unit. So when we hand over the keys, whatever you decide to do with it, is up to you. As long as when you're putting up an Airbnb or you're going to run the unit by yourself, you adhere to the rules and regulations of the building. So we allow Airbnbs.
Can you run that unit for me if I have such a unit?
No, we don't run Airbnbs, but we run rentals. So if someone wants us to manage a rental for them, they want a tenant inside, we do.
What's the difference between an Airbnb and a rental? I thought you're paying rent on both.
A rental is
monthly.
An Airbnb is a furnished apartment or a furnished unit where people come, more of a staycation home. You have a day.
Staycation.
Yeah, we call it staycation. We avoid the Airbnb. So you'll find somebody coming in for a day, 2 days, 3 days, or a week. Tenancy is someone who's actually living there. This is their home for an year, 2 years.
So you won't start running around after people who are coming there and living there on a daily basis. Ini kazi mingi.
As in?
You see, for an Airbnb, for instance, someone will get in and in a few hours they're out.
Yeah.
So that's not something that you're going to run
No,
around.
we don't. Yeah, we
following
don't
up
run
on.
money in Airbnbs. Yeah.
What are the other, when we talk about investment opportunities as far as these units are concerned, what other aspects are we looking at? Or are we talking about Comex Home developing property for me?
Sorry, please ask that.
Investment opportunities. What are some of the other investment opportunities available within the Comex Homes ecosystem?
Oh, investment. So basically, it's just real estate investment, housing, and all that. We haven't moved towards other investments. So yeah, I guess that's what you're asking, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So it's just housing, real estate. Yeah.
Okay. You're putting up this building in a place called X. Okay?
Give it a name. Let's say Sabaki.
Okay, you want to call it Sabaki, I want to call it X.
Okay, let's call it Ruiru.
No, let's call it Sabaki X because I want the X to be in this story.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
All right?
X.
Sabaki X. And what process do you follow, A, to alert possible investors to know that you are putting up this particular unit? And what do you expect wannabe investor to do? One, to qualify as an investor and to be able to participate in this investment.
Okay. So I guess you're asking about the marketing strategy and also the process of
Na ile pesa inahitajika mtu alipe na kadhalika.
Sawa.
Yes.
Kama iko pesa ya kulipwa.
Membership
Inaweza
fee,
kuwa ni free.
things like that. Yes.
So how we market basically for us is just social media and a lot of referrals. So we actually get a lot of referrals from our existing customers. That is the marketing angle that we do, and expos as well. So for you to own a unit with us, besides what I spoke earlier about, the registrations, the copy of your ID, KRA, email, and postal address and phone number for registration, we send you a sales agreement and an offer letter. With the sales agreement and the offer letter, you have like 14 days to look at it with a lawyer or yourself and then sign back as you pay a 25% deposit of the purchase price of the unit, depending on how much it is. So after that, installments are paid on a quarterly basis. So yeah.
So I can't pay on a monthly basis?
You can as well. So let's say your quarterly is around 300. Monthly, then you'll do 100.
300,000, not
300,000.
Thank you so much. Yes.
So monthly, you need me to
do 100,000. Yeah,
Okay.
100,000. So, but then again, these are terms that we do on the contract, on the sales agreement. So you'll say, I don't want to do quarterly, I want to do monthly, and this is what you write, at least to make it legal. Yeah.
Okay. Now this is 100K. Now.
Kuna zenye zinakuja hata monthly 60K. Yeah.
So which means that if I want to pay you weekly, I can also pay you weekly.
City wants to make it granular.
No, I am because there are people who actually earn money in a way that makes it possible for them to pay weekly.
Okay. Yeah.
So you don't have to pay this huge lump sum at the end of the month.
Yeah.
Because if I'm paying you weekly, I'll be paying you 25,000.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get to the end of the month, I paid you the 100,000.
Yeah.
So it's like
manageable amounts.
yes,
Yeah.
but for them also, I'm doing them a favor. I'm giving them money in advance, well in advance.
Yeah.
Yes, so you don't
True
have to
story.
wait until the end of the month, whether this lump sum you're waiting for, and which you can stress over. Yes.
So if you don't see 25 Gs on week 3, you call City. City, are you okay?
Yes. Is everything okay? I heard there was a. I hope it didn't involve you. Yes.
Kuna mali kulikuwa na flood.
Yes.
So yeah, you can actually do that. At the end of the day, this is your home that you are longing to own.
Yeah.
So however you make payments, Tuma, it actually eases the burden if you pay more or frequently. Yeah.
City, please don't ask if you can pay daily. Oh, okay.
Once you get weekly, remember we started off with quarterly.
City anaweza enda mpaka inaweza kuwa granular. Can I pay hourly? Anyway, but that's on a light note. This whole issue of again, we're going back to housing. the house. Do I call it crisis? Do I call it? I really don't know how. Let's have this conversation, and probably we shall be able to define it together. Whereby we're having all these structures coming up lately. Yeah, you're seeing in South Sea, for example, buildings are coming up. In Kilimani, buildings are coming up, and they're very beautiful houses. There's actually one next to where we are right now, Kundedamanuzanga Smoky Palevo, opposite that side of the road. Very many apartments, and they're empty. So I don't know if it's because there's a court case going on there. There's the place is haunted. I really don't know. But we're seeing a lot of these developments where houses have come up and they're empty. And pundits in the industry are saying it's because they're either expensive, built in the wrong areas, or for whatever reason. What do you think the reason could be?
So yes, maybe they are expensive. Another thing is it depends how many rooms are there. If it's 3 and above, like, this is what I say, for you to build a 3-bedroom, it's good, it will bring the investor more return, but then again it will take a longer period for a tenant to come in. Look at it like this. 3 bedrooms are family homes. For a family person to move, to relocate from where they're staying right now to another rental apartment, inakonga a bit tricky, hectic, ngumu. Some of them really prefer, let me stay here and then maybe move into my own house. So that can be one of it as well. And maybe, I'm not sure, but maybe it's not yet, there are no approvals for completion are not yet done or given. So
okay, there's a question City asked earlier on. I don't believe there's an answer I was looking for there. If I'm in the diaspora, of which a lot of listeners currently right now are in the diaspora, and they probably want to develop their shags or their property in Sabaki, Ruiru, Tsiokimau, whatever, is it possible for them to engage with you guys so that they can give you X amount of money instead of giving my brother, who might end up drinking that amount of money, give you guys and tell you, cheki kuna kale kashamba kako pale Sabaki, please do something?
Yeah, sure, why not? You can as well do that. As I said earlier on, we started as constructors. We were constructing for other developers. So yes, if somebody feels like they need us to come through in terms of construction for them, they can reach us out and tutasaidiana panye itawezekana.
What about redesigning, and this is not just for you, but for the industry as a whole, redesigning areas? Do you have solutions that we can actually say that, look, Umoja right now looks the way it looks, but there's a way we can actually make this place better? The same thing they're doing with places like South Sea, although that's another different question I will also ask. And say, look, we need to redevelop Buruburu, or redevelop and redesign, not redevelop, but redesign these particular areas. Get in there so we can take care of the trash situation, for example, the sewerage situation, and see how we can actually make these places look even aesthetically appealing. Is this something that folks in your industry have actually thought about?
Actually, I don't know if I'm answering it correctly, but we can look at some places, maybe Donholm. Which other places have I seen? There are actually people who are bringing down old apartments and building
it's actually happening
new ones.
In South Sea.
It is. Yeah, so these are some of the things that people are also trying. You find, like for us in South B, we've also pushed the project that you're finishing. We've also pushed for the roads to be made. So developers can help where they can, but then again there's some things that also the government has to help. So we're trying in our department, in our job area, industry as developers.
Remember, I asked a question about this club you belong to, and you said there's such an association, isn't it? Call it a club. You see, the reason why I asked, if you look at professional bodies, one of the things professional bodies do is they push an agenda that meets, or rather seeks to enhance the benefits that the citizenry get. When you put up a high-rise building, it's on a piece of land that previously probably was one unit and one family staying. Now you multiply it by many factors, so there are more people. Road usage will increase, so which means the wear and tear on the road will be there. But the thing that often concerns me about developments is public areas. Many of the public areas that we've had in this city were long swallowed up by greedy individuals who think that building houses is more important than having recreational areas for people. That's one, two. But an association that is looking into the future to continue their business need to offer people not just a place to stay in, but wellness. Now, open spaces provide this. A place where children can go and kick the ball around, a place where you can actually just go and sit and do nothing, if that is what you want to do. There are benches there, a place where somebody who wants, there's something these fellows keep telling me about, there's something to eat called smoke-in. And then there's...
See smoke-in, smoky.
Yes, there's something they also call my pasua. They keep telling me this. It seems to be something people like. A place where when somebody is walking their dog, this smoking and my pasua can also be sold. What I'm trying to say is, an association such as yours can partner with other professional associations to make sure that public spaces actually exist, or the ones which existed are reclaimed. Because we don't just live so that we can go to our apartments or the houses we live in. It's important to have recreation, and not everybody can afford to join a gym. Okay? Now, my question. Do you think that this is something an association such as yours would consider? Because you are players in this particular industry, and you are, after all, looking after the interest of the people who are part and parcel of your investments.
Yeah, true. This I actually agree with you. So, City, yes, this is something that we would actually really want to venture in and make sure people get. So this is why, let me just say this. There's so many units apartments being built all over Nairobi, which is making it hard and difficult for a lot of things, maybe children's football places or basketball and all that. As we work towards trying to see if we can improve this is why we are creating apartments with things that are also, recreational centers. Like there's the gym, there's the playground probably for children in the apartment and all that. So as we work towards now creating all this, as ourselves, we can do something within the apartment that is also bringing recreational, for the community, for the people who are living there. So
City, the club you're calling a club is actually an organization called the Kenya Property Developers Association. Their website is kpda.or.ke. Now, for what we were just talking about a couple of weeks ago, we started with an MCA here, and we're talking about building regulations, and we're talking about green buildings, those especially for developers who are using sustainable materials. For example, those who are considering some of those things we're talking about, amenities and the infrastructure, schools. As you're constructing this places, do you consider where the schools will be, the banks will be, the police stations are, and so on and so forth? And I guess that is where now your club stroke organization comes in, right? But when we talk about sustainability, do you consider first of all the materials that you use? I know you said affordable materials. Are we looking at materials that are actually safe for the environment? Friday was Mazingira Day, so are we looking at some of these things so we can make sure that at the end of the day, as we are constructing this affordable housing, we're also taking care of our environment?
Yes. So from the materials that we work with from start, these are things that we actually consider a lot. We've had cases of neighbors complaining, this developer is doing this, affecting this, breaking
polluting,
us, So we actually really consider our environment where we build, because most of the places that we are putting our projects around are home areas. Their children, their families and all that. So we really consider that a lot. And so our materials are very, as much as they're affordable, they're very
safe.
They're safe
for the environment.
Thank you for
and
that.
for us as well.
Exactly. So
There is also another time, and this is in a previous station that I was working at. One thing that came out of our conversation is the fact that finishing is in Kenya sometimes is one thing. Unapata mtu amejenga nyumba mzuri sana, put up a very nice window, but the putty on the glass windows, it's like ilikuwa inafanywa na mtoto. You look at the walls, the painting, the floor, the finish, and basically the finishing is not pristine. You've said that your places are very luxurious. So the question I guess I'm asking is there an industry standard as to how buildings are supposed to be set up as far as the finishing is concerned and the aesthetic values within this building is concerned?
Yes, there is. You have to give your investor something very nice. So if your finishings are shady, then what have you been doing? So for us, what we do after completion of the project, once everything is done, we have 2 snaggings. We want
to what?
Snagging. Snagging is whereby you go through each unit, making sure everything is okay, from the grouting to the skirting to painting and all that.
Okay.
That is done with a salesperson and the builders.
Okay.
After that, then the salesperson does the same thing with an investor, the investor of the unit. Why are we doing this? Because at the end of the day, what you're delivering needs to be quality. Remember, these people have trusted you with their finances, and they know you're going to give them something very quality. If you aren't going to give them something quality, si basi wangechukua pesa yao, they go do something else with it, So yeah, standards when it comes to interiors,
good. They are up there.
Yeah, they actually need to. Yeah.
I've also noticed one thing. We're having a lot of foreign developers. And the reason I'm asking this is because you even see they have put up very huge banners, sometimes even the flags of their countries, on these buildings that they're developing. And it's okay to be proud. I guess if I was doing something in America, I'd have the Kenyan flag somewhere. But I want to ask, are they making things cheaper for us or more expensive?
Honestly,
yeah,
more expensive.
Okay.
Yeah, more expensive. Because when we look at this, some of them, of our foreign developers, some of them, as what I said the other time, just a few minutes ago, for them, the higher the apartment,
the more expensive
the unit is going to be. The units are actually very expensive. Buying and also renting out. So these are some of the things I've actually personally faced with some investors who are with us. So there's a matter of cost. There's a matter of, for the investors, costing them. And some of these units take actually very long to get a tenant inside. So ROI inakuwa a bit challenging. Can stay for 3-4 months. So
okay.
We live in the information
but they
age.
have very nice apartments.
The foreign developers?
We live in the information age. Now, there are things that one considers. See, there's a balance, okay, that people think of. It's something we talk about: living, working, playing, that balance. What you've been telling us so far, you try to meet that. You know why I'm going back to the organization that you belong to is for a simple reason. Housing is just part of the developments that take place in a city like this. That's why I talked about the planners. Because when you plan, you have an idea, you want a house, but you want other things that people may need to complement the housing. All right? Now, there are people in this country who put up shopping malls. There are those who put up commuter terminals. There are those who put up schools. Do you collect data with regards to who it is or what it is that exists that one would benefit your would-be investors, and how it will also complement some of these services that other people have invested in?
I think I didn't get that.
Okay. Research. You want to put up a building.
Yeah.
There's research that goes around you involve yourself in before you put up that building.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm asking the question. Things like a shopping mall,
Mm-hmm.
things like a school,
Mm-hmm.
A bank.
a bank, a bus terminal. Are these factors considered in your research when you are researching so that you put up a building that will meet the needs of your investors? Is that simpler to understand?
Yeah.
And please don't give me a yes answer. I want you to walk and give me in details what you do.
Details from how we start and do
No.
research.
No.
So
How
I
you do it
understand.
and just in a summary how you do it and
Yeah.
how, yes.
So yes, City, we actually looked to about we actually consider that in our research before we do the development. One, remember, when we break down the catalogs and tell investors about the return on investments, we have to give them what we're going to give them, the ROI, how the ROI should be. So first of all, we do research depending on the environment. If it's rental, this is how much we're going to give you, depending on the area of the places. Two, when it comes to now things like schools, banks, and all that, this is some of our marketing areas, because a lot of people will consider getting an investment close to a hospital. That way, if in case of anything, there's quick access. Schools, we actually have parents who actually come and buy units for their children there because there's Strathmore, there's the Riara just there. Wanajua, it's gonna be very easy for my kid. So yes, we actually look at this. These are some of the marketing strategies that we have. So if we do not do research on this stuff, then what are we selling to our investors?
Yeah.
Just houses.
Actually, Kitambo, and perhaps I don't know if this is how it used to happen, but yeah, let me say it either way, where someone would put up a business because they're looking at the potential customers in an area. So for example, a bank will come and open here because they're saying, kuna manyumba mingi hapa, so we'll get customers. A school will be constructed here because kuna manyumba mingi hapa, kwezi kwa watoto wanataka kwenda shule. But I like now the way things are happening, whereby property developers are actually saying, you know what, there are universities there are schools there, there are banks there, so that means people will need to live in this particular area. Let's go set up shop there.
Usually you will find that some of those areas already had housing developments, but they met the needs of an earlier time.
A different population.
A different population, a different, completely different demographic, completely different. But when you look at that need, it also met the need of a population of Nairobi at that time. The population of Nairobi at this time is completely different.
Yeah.
And the diversity of needs is also very different. That's why I asked the question, because some thought process has to go into you don't just take money and start putting up a building because you feel like it. No. You must have understood very many competing variables for you to understand that this thing will actually make business sense. Yes.
Do you believe that there are some serious unethical practices within the industry of property development? For example, setting up buildings where they're not supposed to be. We're talking about riparian land, for example, or next to a barracks. Just the other day on Friday, I believe it was, we were reading a story where we were seeing this development being set up next to the Army Airbase, in Isili, and I was asking myself, Kwani, by the time, and it's a crime. Yeah, why would Comex Home, for example, want to set up something next to a barracks or next to the airbase? Yet that this is actually, is there a regulation of sorts or a prefect, let me call them that, an authority within amongst yourselves that you can actually say, nimeona Comex Home kitu mnafanya pale George Padmore Road, si poa.
I'm not sure if there's some corporation who does that.
Yeah.
But yes, it's true. This is happening. For me,
some
first
sort
question,
of self-regulation.
Yeah. For me, the first question would be, who is giving them the approvals? Because it's really upsetting seeing a whole structure being built, and after some few months it goes down. Who was the person who was approving this thing? Who did this? It all goes back to, how can I say it? Oh my God, how can I say this?
Because there's a lot of corruption there.
A lot of corruption. There's a lot of corruption going on. So it's just about you and what you stand for.
Yeah.
Are you just willing to come and get money for yourself, make your own profits, and then somebody else will suffer months down the line?
Yeah.
Are you just that heartless? So it's really hurtful. It's really it really hurts me sometimes when I see this. But who is, at the end of the day, who is allowing these approvals? Why are you doing this? Why are you going through corruptions at the cost of people's lives?
Actually, as a matter of fact, there's also a conversation, an ongoing conversation about Wilson Airport. And I'm sure you've come across it. Around Wilson, a lot of properties have been set up there, literally kwa barabara ya ndege flight path, yes. They've set up these buildings on the flight path. And we've known of this KPDA that has existed for a while now, and no one seems to be pointing fingers. And I think there needs to be some sort of conversation where we can have self-regulation even before we have government regulating. For example, in media, apart from CA, we have the MCK, that is the Media Council of Kenya. Then we have the Media Owners Association. These are literally people who will check each other so that we can ensure that there's accountability, so that by the time it's getting to the government, we can actually even say shida ni yule tumejaribu kumwambia amekataa kusikia.
But you know, Paul, the problem is you can't have such a problem like the one you're referring to without the involvement of people in government. It is not possible.
Yep.
Because the licensing body, the person who gives you the authority to build, you know
Is
full well that there's an airport. You know, there's nothing you don't know. There are codes and rules governing the building, putting up of buildings in that region. You know all this. Now, somebody may be a rogue investor, somebody who doesn't really care very much about rules, but that rogue investor is enabled by people within the government structure, whether it's the county government or whoever else, because in the absence of that, it is impossible for them to do what they've done.
Yeah.
Yes.
True story. And that is why I was saying that perhaps there should be that's why I was saying we need to have that conversation, so we can start having these prefects to ensure that indeed we can self-govern before we even get to the government. Now, as we have about 2 or so minutes, what is that one thing you'd like us to know about Comex Homes that is probably not widely known, or probably something upcoming investment or an opportunity that is available for Kenyans?
So, first of all, we have our newest baby, Astana Residence. Anyone who is looking to invest in 1-bedroom and studio apartments at affordable prices within Ngara, you can reach us out on our social media handles, Comex Homes, or our website, www.comexhomes.ke, or visit our offices at Telcom Plaza, first floor. So the narrative has been changed. Housing and owning houses are no longer for the elderly. Even us as the young people, we can invest. We can call something our own at this small at the state that we're in right now. It's a little bit. It just takes a little bit of strength and kidogo pesa from your pocket.
Yeah.
And then we'll become owners and investors ourselves. So yeah, let's invest in real estate. One thing is, real estate will never flop. People will always want houses, so it's a perfect investment that you'll ever want, and it's a long-term investment. And if you're looking for real estate investment, come to Comex Homes. We will be there to guide you, walk the journey with you. And
no, umesema kunalipa polepole.
Kunalipa installments, yeah. And you can actually pay in installments, which are quarterly installments after your 25% deposit. So kuja tutembee, we walk this journey together, and we will be glad to see you own a home and a property.
All right, that is Joy Irungu from Comex Homes. This is where we come to a stop. Thank you so much for coming through, and thank you for this conversation.